Hello students, so today you are going to learn new lesson. Lesson name is heat. It is from class 7th and this is chapter number 4. So you are going to learn today. So what is heat? Before that you are familiar with the word hot and cold. So here in the lesson you are going to learn first what are the hot object and what are the cold object. With the example you are going to learn. So next slide is hot and cold. In our daily life, we come across a different or number of objects and some of them are hot and some of them are cold. So, mostly in our daily life, we find out whether the object is hot or cold by touching. So, when in the morning you take a cup of tea, when you touch a cup of tea, it feels that it is hot. So you can come to know this is hot by touching. But most of the times we cannot rely on the sense of touch. Here it is given, example is given, tea is hot and ice is cold. So when we touch ice, we feel cold, and when we touch tea, we feel hot. So by touching, we can determine, we can find out whether the object is hot or cold. Some objects are hotter than others and some are colder than others. So that hotness and the coldness we can determine by sense of touching. We often decide, most of the time we decide which object is hotter than other by touching the object. So by touching the object we can determine, we can decide most of the times whether the object is hotter than other object or colder than other objects. So when there are the two objects, it is compared, the hotness of the two objects is compared by just touching. But here see, we can see we cannot always rely on. We cannot always rely on, we cannot always depend on. For what? Our sense of touch. So every time we cannot rely, every time we cannot depend upon our sense of touch. So why? To decide how hot or how cold an object is. So every time if we are judging, we are deciding by touching only that how the object is hot and how the object is cold. So that observation, that conclusion or that result is not up to the mark, is not correct. So that's why we cannot always rely on our sense of touch to decide how hot or how cold an object is. Then how can we determine, how can we decide if our sense of touch is not reliable, then how can we identify how the object is hot or how the object is cold? So the hotness of an object is measured by its temperature. The hotness of object is measured by its temperature. So how the object is hot and how the object is cold, so that hotness of the object can be measured. So we cannot rely on our sense of touch. So how can we measure? So we can measure with temperature, by its temperature. Now what is mean by temperature? So temperature is nothing but temperature is a measure of the degree of hotness of an object. So what is temperature? Temperature is nothing but temperature is a measure. Temperature is a measure. Whose measure? Of the degree of hotness. Temperature is measure of the degree of hotness of an object. It's called temperature. Now this temperature is measured by a device that is called as thermometer. Temperature is measured by a device called as thermometer. Now, what is thermometer? You have seen the thermometer most of the time when you visit to the clinic. At that time, when you have a fever, so doctor measures your temperature, measures your fever by thermometer. So there are two types of thermometer again in the clinical thermometer. The one clinical thermometer which is made up of glass, and one is other that is digital thermometer. So I will show you the figures. Here you can see this is a diagram of clinical thermometer. So here in the diagram you can see this thermometer is made up of glass. This thermometer is made up of glass where the scale is shown. This part is called as a bulb, and in the clinical thermometer there is a kink which can prevent mercury from falling down. So this is a clinical thermometer, but nowadays in the market this thermometer is used more. So this thermometer is made up of glass, where here mercury also used. This one is the digital thermometer. Digital thermometer, it is used to measure fever, to measure the temperature of the human body. So you have to remember one thing, that clinical thermometer is used in the clinic, in the hospitals, to measure the temperature of human body. Next point is, here you can see detailed information about the measuring temperature. The thermometer that measures the temperature of our body is called as clinical thermometer. The definition is very easy. How can we memorize the definition? The thermometer which is used to measure the temperature of human body, that is called as clinical thermometer. Here you can understand our body, you can write human body, and that thermometer is called as clinical thermometer. Now this clinical thermometer has a long narrow glass tube. Here you can see this is a long narrow glass tube, and this long narrow glass tube has a bulb at one end. So here you can see this is the bulb which contains mercury. Bulb at one end containing mercury. So here in the bulb mercury is present. Here it is written mercury is present. It has a scale called Celsius scale marked in 0 degree Celsius. So here you can write degree Celsius. This is the degree Celsius which is marked as a degree Celsius, and clinical thermometer reads temperature from 35 degrees Celsius to 42 degrees Celsius. So this is the range of the clinical thermometer. Again, all of you can look here. If you see this middle, this is the scale. This middle line shows the scale. This is called as Celsius scale. This scale is called as Celsius. Celsius scale, and here if you see this number is 35 degrees Celsius. So the range of the clinical thermometer starts from 35 degrees Celsius and ends with the 42 degrees Celsius. Here you can see 42 degrees Celsius. So this is the range of the clinical thermometer, and the clinical thermometer has a small kink near the bulb. So here is a bulb, and near the bulb this is a small kink. This is the small kink, and the use of the kink is here. This kink prevents mercury level from falling down. So when we keep this thermometer under our armpit, then after measuring the temperature, when we take this thermometer in front of our eyes, then when we hold it straight, then the mercury level which is raised, it cannot fall down immediately. So because of this kink, so this kink prevents mercury level from falling down. Normal temperature of the human body is 37 degrees Celsius. So this is shown in the degree Celsius. So what is the normal temperature of human body? It is mentioned here 37 degrees Celsius. So this is information about the clinical thermometer, which has a kink, bulb and the Celsius scale. In the bulb mercury is present. The range of the thermometer starts from 35 degrees Celsius and ends with the 42 degrees Celsius, and the clinical thermometer is used in the clinics or hospitals to measure the human body temperature. The next point is reading a clinical thermometer. So how can we take the reading of the clinical thermometer? Wash the thermometer with an antiseptic solution. with an antiseptic solution. What we have to do first before the reading? We have to wash it to make germ free. So wash the thermometer with an antiseptic solution which can kill the germ, which can keep the thermometer safe. Hold it firmly and give it a few jerks. Like this way we can give the jerks to bring down level of mercury. Why we have to give the jerk to the thermometer before reading? When we give jerk the thermometer, the mercury level comes down below 35 degrees Celsius. So it is most important. So we have to jerk the thermometer to bring down the mercury level below 35 degrees Celsius. Then place the bulb of the thermometer under your tongue. So under your tongue so you can place the thermometer to measure the temperature. So as we are keeping in our mouth, so it should be clean, safe. That's why we have to wash with the antiseptic solution. So we cannot take a risk. So we have to wash it with antiseptic solution which can make the thermometer germ free, and then we can keep under our tongue to measure the temperature. But before keeping under the tongue, we have to jerk it to bring the mercury level down below 35 degrees Celsius. Now after 1 minute, so we have to wait for 1 minute. After 1 minute, take out thermometer and note reading. So for 1 minute we have to count the time, and for 1 minute we have to keep under our tongue. Then we have to take out the thermometer and we have to check the reading. We have to measure the reading. This will be your body temperature. So that will be your body temperature. So this is the clinical thermometer. By it we can measure. Here we can see under the tongue it is kept, and then after 1 minute we can take it out and can note down temperature. So it gives the correct measurement of temperature. So this is how can we read clinical thermometer. This information is given. So here the way. But nowadays digital thermometer is used which can immediately tell us our body temperature. There is no need to give jerk, and there is no mercury in the digital thermometer. Now laboratory thermometer. Now we have taken the information about clinical thermometer, but this laboratory thermometer is also used in the laboratories. When you do some practicals, chemistry practicals, that time this thermometer is mostly used. Now here you can see the laboratory thermometer. There is one more important difference in the laboratory thermometer and clinical thermometer. So I will tell you later. So laboratory thermometer has a long narrow glass tube. This point is same in clinical thermometer as well as laboratory thermometer. Both has a long narrow glass tube. It has bulb at one end. It is also same. It has bulb at one end. It has a scale marked in 0 degree, in degree Celsius. So here also the scale is given which is marked in degree Celsius. The range of the laboratory thermometer is generally from -10 degrees Celsius to +110 degrees Celsius. So this is the main difference in the clinical thermometer. In clinical thermometer, the range of the thermometer was 35 degrees Celsius to 42 degrees Celsius. But in the laboratory thermometer, the range is -10 degrees Celsius to +110 degrees Celsius. So this is the range difference. And one more difference is again in the clinical thermometer, king is present, but in laboratory thermometer there is no king. So here laboratory thermometer, when you take out from the liquid, so it will not give accurate temperature or measurement, because once you take out from the liquid, then the mercury level immediately fall down, so you will not get the accurate temperature or measurement. But the thing is present in the clinical thermometer. One more difference again in the clinical thermometer and laboratory thermometer. Clinical thermometer is used for measuring the temperature of human body. It measures the temperature of human body and it is used in the laboratory. So this one is used in the hospital and it is used in the laboratory. Laboratory use. So this is the difference. But the glass, narrow glass tube, then the bulb and the Celsius scale, these ones are same, but range, the K and the use is different. Next point is measuring temperature with the laboratory thermometer. So what are the ways? How can we measure the temperature with the laboratory thermometer? So we can easily understand by reading this point. Take some tap water in beaker, dip the thermometer in water so that the bulb of the thermometer does not touch to the bottom of or the sides. So here we can see the thermometer. Our laboratory thermometer is used. Here is the flask. In the flask, tap water is given. This is the tap water. So the tap water is used and the thermometer is kept in such a way that the bulb should not touch to the bottom or the sides. These sides are there, so to the flask side or the bottom of the flask, this bulb should not touch. This care we have to take. Hold the thermometer vertically. So this thermometer you have to place vertically, straight, not in a slanting way, not in this way. So it should be kept in a straight way, in a vertically. In this way we can keep. Note the level of mercury. This will be the temperature of the water. So here it is given. When you keep it vertically, the mercury level rises in the thermometer. So when the mercury level will start rising in the thermometer, wait till the level of mercury becomes steady. So at one point, at one place, the mercury level becomes steady, it will not rise up. And when that point will come, you have to note down the temperature. You have to note down or measure the temperature of the liquid, and then you can get the correct temperature of the water. These are the ways that by which we can use this laboratory thermometer to measure the temperature of the water. The next point is transfer of heat. So heat can be transferred from one place to other place, one point to other point. So how can the heat get transferred? Heat flows from a body at higher temperature to a body at lower temperature. So this is the main point, how can heat get transferred? So heat get transferred from a body which is at higher temperature and the body which is at the lower temperature. So from higher level to lower level heat is get transferred, and this is called transfer of heat. Heat is transferred in three different ways. They are conduction, convection and radiation. So these are the three ways by which the heat can be transferred from one object to other object, from higher level heat to lower level heat. And there are three ways. First is conduction, second is convection and third is radiation. Here in the picture also you can see more hot object. This one is a cold object. So the heat will transfer from this hot object to the cold object. So in this way heat will get transferred. But there are three ways again: by conduction, by convection and by radiation. So what are those three ways? We will see in detail. First is conduction. Here you can see the conduction. What is meant by conduction? Conduction is a process. Conduction is the process by which heat is transferred in solid. It is transferred in solid from hotter end to colder end. So we have to think this conduction is the method or way of heat transfer, but it takes place in solid object. This is the most important point. So conduction is the process by which heat is transferred, but where? In the solids. And how? From hotter end to colder end. Now here is a small activity. From this activity you will come to know how the conduction takes place. You can see this is the iron or aluminum rod. So we can consider this is iron rod or iron strip, and this strip is fixed with the stand. Here you can see fix a few wax pieces on equal distances. So here these are the wax drops. At equal distances they are placed. Clamp the rod to a stand. This one is the stand and the rod is clamped. Heat the other end of the rod. The wax pieces begin to melt and fall down from the heated end. This shows that heat is transferred from hotter end to the colder end by conduction. Means when you place a lighted candle below the one end of the strip. So when you place the lighted candle, you can see this burning zone. This is the flame. So by this flame, this end will get heated, and the heat will transfer from this hot end to cold end. Now this is the cold end. So when the heat will transfer slowly, so the drop which is placed near the flame, it starts melting down. And again it will transfer here, then this drop will start melting down. When it will transfer again further, this drop will melt down. So in this way, the heat will transfer till the other end, and this end is also afterwards it also becomes hot. So in this way, this strip is the solid. This strip is solid, and from one end to other end, heat is transferred in the solid, and this transfer of heat is called as conduction. Thank you.